A young lion suddenly came roaring toward him, but the Spirit of the Lord came upon Samson with power, and he tore the lion apart with his bare hands. Our story begins in a dark time for Israel, a season when the Israelites were under the control of the Philistines for 40 years. In the town of Zorah, there lived a man named Manoah from the tribe of Dan. His wife was unable to have children. One day, the angel of the Lord appeared to her and said, "You are barren and have no children, but you will become pregnant and give birth to a son. Be careful. Do not drink wine or any strong drink, and do not eat anything unclean. The child you will bear must never have his hair cut, because he will be a Nazirite, dedicated to God from birth, and he will begin to deliver Israel from the Philistines." Filled with amazement, the woman ran to tell her husband. Manoah prayed to God, asking him to send the angel again so they could understand how to raise the child. God answered his prayer. When the angel returned, Manoah asked, "When your words come to pass, what will be the rule for this child's life?" The angel repeated the same instructions. Soon after, the woman gave birth to a son, and they named him Samson. As Samson grew, the Lord blessed him, and the Spirit of God began to move in him. One day, Samson went down to Timnah and saw a Philistine woman. When he returned, he told his parents, "I have seen a woman in Timnah. Get her for me as my wife." His parents were troubled. "Is there no woman among our people?" they asked. "Must you go to the Philistines?" But Samson insisted, "She is the right one for me." They did not realize that God was working through this to confront the Philistines. On his way to Timnah, something happened. A young lion suddenly came roaring toward him, but the Spirit of the Lord came upon Samson with power, and he tore the lion apart with his bare hands. Yet he told no one. Later, when he returned, he saw that bees had made a hive inside the lion's carcass. There was honey inside. He took some, ate it, and even shared it with his parents, without telling them where it came from. At his wedding feast, Samson gave a riddle to 30 Philistine men. "If you solve it within 7 days, I will give you 30 garments, but if you cannot, you will give me 30 garments." They agreed. Samson said, "Out of the eater came something to eat. Out of the strong came something sweet." For days they could not solve it. On the 4th day, they threatened Samson's wife, "Get the answer from him, or we will destroy you and your family." She cried and pressured Samson daily, until finally he told her, and she told her people. On the 7th day, they answered the riddle. Samson became furious. "The only reason you solved it is because you betrayed me." The Spirit of the Lord came upon him again. He went down to Ashkelon, struck down 30 men, took their garments, and gave them to those who solved the riddle. Then he returned home in anger, and his wife was given to another man. Later, during the harvest, Samson went back to visit her, but her father refused him. So Samson said, "This time I have a right to strike the Philistines." He caught 300 foxes, tied them tail to tail in pairs, attached torches, and released them into the fields. The crops burned, the vineyards burned, everything was destroyed. The Philistines asked, "Who did this?" They were told, "Samson." So they burned his wife and her father. Samson replied, "Now I will not stop until I take revenge," and he attacked them fiercely. Later, the Philistines came against Judah. The men of Judah went to Samson and said, "Don't you know they rule over us? Why have you done this?" He answered, "I only did to them what they did to me." They bound him with ropes and handed him over. But when the Philistines approached, the Spirit of the Lord came upon him again. The ropes broke like burnt thread. He found a donkey's jawbone, and with it struck down 1,000 men. After the battle, he became very thirsty and cried to God, "You gave me this victory. Will I now die of thirst?" God answered him and provided water. His strength returned. One day, Samson went to Gaza. The people surrounded him, waiting to kill him. But at midnight, he got up, tore off the city gates with his bare hands, and carried them to the top of a hill. Later, he fell in love with a woman named Delilah. The Philistine rulers approached her and said, "Find out the secret of his strength, and we will reward you." Delilah asked Samson. At first he lied, but she kept pressing him day after day until he became tired. Finally, he told her the truth. "My strength comes from my dedication to God. If my hair is cut, my strength will leave me." While he slept, she had his hair shaved, and his strength left him. The Philistines captured him, blinded him, and put him in prison. But his hair began to grow again. One day, the Philistines gathered to celebrate. They brought Samson out to entertain them. The temple was filled with people. Samson prayed, "Lord, remember me. Give me strength just once more." He stood between two pillars, pushed with all his strength, and the temple collapsed. In that moment, Samson killed more people in his death than in his life. His family came and buried him. He had led Israel for 20 years. The life of Samson teaches us something powerful. God can use anyone, even with weaknesses. Strength without discipline leads to destruction. Temptation can destroy destiny, but even in failure, God's purpose can still be fulfilled. If you believe God can still use imperfect people, comment, Amen.